All right. Hello again, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is Unfiltered with D&G, Dan and George. I am George. This is my co-host, Dan.
Sweet. And welcome to episode 12.
Ooh, episode 12.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That was...
We're going to start off today just working out. On the last episode that previously ended, we talked about that one island.
Oh, yeah. This is the continuation of the...
I just wanted to clarify
our discussion of Dan wiping out a
whole tribe.
2,000-year-old species.
I forgot exactly where it was, but it was the North Sentinel Island. It's about 31 miles west of Port Blair, which is in India, basically.
Okay.
And so, but when we were talking about the person that was killed, it was an American, and he did go. He got killed on his second visit, apparently. That makes him stupid.
What is he, a Christian missionary?
Yeah, try to convert them.
Yeah, he wanted to convert this tribe, this indigenous tribe. He wanted to show them the ways of the Lord.
Yeah, and
they showed him.
Basically,
they introduced him to God.
Introduced him right to God. Yeah. But again, I have issues with a native tribe like that's 2,000 years old. Basically, if they're on an island, isn't that like their own little zoo and they're in captivity because we can't allow? Wait a second.
We didn't captive.
But we wouldn't let them leave either. In a sense, what I'm trying to say that is, if they left their island, they would start killing people in the street,
and then we have a right to defend ourselves,
and we would kill them.
Okay, then so be it.
But they don't own India.
No, but
they don't. If we went as tourists and we didn't know better, and I know it's posted somewhere, stay away from this island. They don't really appreciate newcomers. Okay. But if we were under attack, we have the right to defend ourselves as well.
That's what they were doing. Well, they didn't know. They didn't know what the guy was doing.
A whole tribe shooting arrows at a Christian missionary by himself. Yeah, they felt threatened. But then I'm sure they ate the man.
And I'm sure they didn't really know it firsthand, but he was a threat. He could give them a disease that could wipe out their whole tribe.
That is true. And I bet these bastards said, we missed him the first time, we got him now. You know what I'm trying to say? But I do feel like, let's say we had modern day weapons and they're shooting arrows at me, I'm going to blast all of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, if they come
2,000 years old or not.
Of course, if they come here, yeah, but if they stay in their own home.
Well, they didn't. This man didn't go into their village. He died right on the beach. They nailed him.
Well, that's their beach.
Their beach. All right. I'm just saying we don't allow them off of it.
I feel like
they're basically prisoners of their own
ancestor of who took the Indians out of their own land here.
General Custer or whatever. But I'm just the strong will survive. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, that's history. The people with strength lead the way, whether they're right or wrong. History will determine that.
So if someone stronger came into your house, would you just let it happen because they're stronger?
Well, you know what? It's interesting. I mean, we can go look at history, though. But if an army comes marching in, then, they're going to take over. I either die.
You have no problem with that.
No, I would have every problem with it. But, I either die or I submit, to the new authority. But that's war. That's everything about that. I'm just saying that you have a choice. You can die or, you can surrender.
Or you can fight.
And die. You're not going to win.
Well, of course.
If an army came in.
But you're going to try.
I don't know. Not everybody does.
I would try.
Then you're dead. Then
it's just like
die.
It's like Home Alone. Look, he survived. Wow. Two burglars bigger than him. He survived.
But point is, in this case, on the island, I wish that that missionary guy had an Uzi and not Bibles. He would have taken them all out.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
This is a discussion. Obviously,
I'm going to concede to this. To your logic.
Obviously, you feel they're in the right. I feel they're in the wrong. But the fact of the matter is, there's no authority there. There's no repercussions. They can kill, and we allow it because they're an old tribe. And that's what, I guess, because they don't live by the same standard as anyone else because they're old. But
do you agree that that's their home?
It's their home, but the man wasn't doing anything.
With that said,
it's their home.
Someone comes in.
It's not my home. It's their home.
If someone just walks into your home, let's say they're dressed in black.
I can already tell you what I'm going to say. It's going to be offensive to so many, but let's just say
they're dressed in black. They start walking around. They turn on your TV. They go into your fridge. They get food.
This guy didn't go into their hut and do that. But let's just say this: what about the militia on the borderline of fucking Texas and Mexico and Arizona, and now they're shooting Mexicans who are coming over illegally. Those people are entering our country, our homes. These are ranchers. It's their land. So they have the legal right to then shoot them, but they're not stealing your property. Well, the Mexicans coming over the border are just walking over your property for a better life. But you think they can be executed for walking over your property.
Well, I'm personally not going to shoot them.
Well, that's what I'm just trying to say.
If they felt that they were in danger,
Yeah, but more than likely, because we're a system of laws that, as a rancher, or we would be prosecuted because we have laws. We're civilized. We can't shoot unless there's a real injury or bodily harm. You've been a cop. Come on, you know that. But in this case, what I'm trying to say, I guess my frustration is they have this immunity of they can do whatever they want to protect their land, and that's it. There's no authority or governing authority that says, hey, well, maybe not kill.
Well, that's why they're not in the United States. They're in a different island.
Okay, but the point is that's where
that's why we're.
But let's just say, how do we not know they're not building up their numbers and they're going to march on to the next community and wipe them all out? How do we not know that? Because no one talks to them.
They're not expanding. They're not.
How do we know? Maybe little is traveling, across the country. Who knows? But you would think after 2,000 years you'd want to branch out. Maybe not. All right, next topic of the day. I think we beat that one to death. But we definitely see a difference of opinions. But I think I made a point, though. If you're a rancher, you can't just...
No,
that's
right.
the same. I mean, we're a nation of laws.
Right.
And they're...
Unless you're in fear of your family is being harmed.
It's self-defense. But how many people go to prison they're arrested and go to prison, and some of them are convicted from self-defense even. I'm sure it's happened, I would think, So even when you're in the right, you're still in a country of laws, you're still convicted.
So there's your country. There's your country of laws. There's your group of laws. Your own group of laws is going against what you want.
But you remember that story not too long ago? Female cop comes home.
Yeah.
She goes into the wrong apartment, thinks it's her apartment, blasts the dude that's there. He's in his own home and gets murdered. Mm-hmm. I believe she was convicted.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's crazy. The world we live in is crazy.
So that's the exact same thing. If it happened to you, you would want to shoot her, right?
Well, but I think there's a difference between a country, someone coming over into the country, and someone on your personal property. That's where I feel there's a difference. That gentleman who got shot by the cop had every right to shoot her because she went into the wrong apartment. I think there's more to the story.
No, I think she actually did mistake that for her apartment. She's just so tired. She couldn't make
that could happen.
I mean, it's still, she's still negligent.
Oh, absolutely, because she's at fault. She got confused. But regardless, I mean, there's countless stories.
I've walked up to the wrong car before, and I've actually gotten in.
Wow!
I have.
You see, you have a history of getting high, though.
No, I wasn't high. This was a car next to mine. It's the exact same color. I unlocked my car, right, with my little remote, and then I open this door, and it opens. Okay, I sit in. And I'm going to start the car, and I look around, and I see the tint it was all bubbled up. And I just kind of got the car a couple of weeks ago. So I'm like, goddamn cheap-ass tint. It just bubbled up. Now I got to replace that. And I start to go start the car, and I kind of look around, and it's like, well, how did it become this dirty?
Wow.
And then as the more I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, I'm not in my car.
That's pretty funny.
And then I get out, and my car is right next to it. I just walk over. But what are the odds that I unlock it at the same time, and then I open the door and it's unlocked? Most people lock their own cars.
Yeah.
And the interior was the same color. Yeah. But it was just kind of funny and disturbing at the same time, because I was like, I just sat in someone's car.
But could you imagine the owner of that vehicle walks up, they think you're stealing it, right, and they pull a weapon, and then it's a misunderstanding, and it's there are mistakes and things do happen. I do find that to be, that would be a bad luck,
unfortunate event. It's like,
exactly.
And then I'm sure that the court is going to be, if I survive, the court's like, you
totally understandable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Would they? Would they be? Because the defense or the prosecution is going to be like, so you open this door of a car that you don't know. Oh, but you were tired. You shouldn't have been working then, because I was working at the time.
Or they turn the narrative to where you have the MO, you park your car next to other cars of yours, and then you break into it because that's if you get caught, you're like, oh my God, I'm parked right next to it. When I was walking 30 feet away, I pressed the button, I heard it beep, beep, and then I just walked, and it was open. Yeah. I don't know. If I was on the jury.
I feel bad for that female cop.
I do and I don't, but again, I'm more into conspiracy theories. I think there's more to the story. I just think there's more to it, but I don't know. I mean,
I believe that it really was
just an innocent mistake, and she had an itchy trigger finger, right? I mean,
she's a cop.
But did you have to shoot him? Can you just unless he's drawing a weapon on you or running at you, did you have to shoot?
I think it was lack of training where she should have said, hands up, let me see your hands.
On your feet, on your knees, whatever, and then that's it. Right. And unless he ran at her or attacked her, which he wouldn't have. If it's a real story, he wouldn't have attacked. He would have been
sitting on his couch. He'd be like, hey.
Yeah, it's like, you're in the wrong apartment, lady. And that's all I'm trying to say is, not in every instance do you have to pull the trigger?
Right.
Like, I own guns. If
Right.
someone
I mean,
broke in,
it's-
I don't think I would necessarily blast them.
It's hard when you're not there.
Yes.
But in that situation, I think she might have shot too early.
That's all I'm saying too. Like, if I'm on that jury, I don't buy the story. And if it is a story that's believable, let's just say, did you have to shoot? Because if it's your mistake, how is it life threatening for you?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like, if someone breaks into my house,
Well, you don't think it's a mistake when it's happening to you.
right. Well,
Let's say
absolutely.
you walk into this house,
Right.
and suddenly a guy's coming at you. Hey.
Yes, that I understand. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know the whole story. And that's why I'm like, did this guy, how close were they? You walk in the door, is he right there and she just blasts him real quick? Or was there, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have to shoot? I don't know enough about the example.
It's hard when you're not there. Yeah.
Exactly. And I
Because
think
you're trying to defend yourself.
absolutely. I think every day, maybe I'm going to go to sleep tonight, someone's going to break in, and I mentally kind of think like that, like, oh my God, what would I do? But is there 20 feet between us? Is there 5 feet between us? Is he attacking me? Am I getting stabbed at the moment? You know, so I don't know what I would do. I don't have that training, but I think if it's 20 feet away, I don't have to shoot. Just get the fuck out of my house. But there are other people that would blast them just out of principle.
Right.
Like, that's not me though. But that's what I'm saying. And I also think it's not really the human life. It's just more of you're going to get arrested. You're going to go to jail for protecting your house because they're going to say there was no threat. He's 20 feet away.
Right.
You shot him in the back. Oh, but he was on my property. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy talk. I think people should give others the benefit of the doubt. But then if someone breaks into your house now it's already a threat.
Every situation is different.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But it is crazy. But these stories, it's just countless stories. Every day is another mass shooting. And you're right. It happens all the time. It happened before social media. We just read about them now.
Yeah, it's just more exposure.
That's it. Just more exposure.
But it's always happened.
Yeah.
Things like this always happen.
Always. And it's going to continue. But that's unfortunate, but it never stopped, and it's just going to keep going. I don't think it's happening any more often.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not in the United States, but somewhere around this country, weird things happen. Weird things like that happen.
Wow, the stats are always crazy about, like, burglaries and car thefts and rape and murder. Like, every 45 seconds someone's house is broken into.
Right.
Whatever. It's just crazy. But what can you do?
You can defend yourself.
Yeah, but you don't want to live in a world where you're paranoid either.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's no fun.
But you can defend yourself, just like that tribe was defending themselves.
But they weren't being attacked.
How do they know?
Well, they don't know, but if the strong survives, we should wipe them out.
So they were stronger than that guy, and they survived.
They were the strong in that case. But if that was my relative, I would want to go back. And take the A-team with me, Justice must be served. But there's no justice for that man's family.
The A-team. That was a great show.
But where's the justice for that man's family?
But it's not a question about justice. He went there on his own, and I think they even told him, "Hey, you're not supposed to be there."
That's true.
So they already warned him. So there can't be justice when someone warns you, "Hey, don't go inside that house," but you want to go inside that house anyway, and you get shot.
Yeah,
you're gonna get justice for the guy that.
I don't know. It's a touchy subject because I'm not sure exactly. I don't. It's just there should be justice, but I just don't like the idea that this tribe can do anything they want and there's no repercussions.
So let me ask you this: if you had a child, okay, and they were caught inside someone's house. And
ass whooped.
But they got shot and killed.
I would not blame the owners.
Okay.
I would not blame the owners because, again, I think when you're breaking the law, that's the accountability. I'd be very disappointed in my son or daughter or whatever. But, now is it in that same case, it's 30 feet away and they got shot in the back. And I would be like, did you have to kill? That's the thing, That's the hard part. Like you said, every case is a case by case. There's, that's why we have a court system that you almost want to believe in, but, every case is case by case. But I wouldn't be mad at the homeowners.
Okay.
But if the circumstances were like, they clearly murdered this kid, but that kid shouldn't have been there in the first place, my kid, in a sense, in that example.
Right.
If it's 5 feet away, that's different than 25 feet away, or shot in the front or the back. They can determine, right, if it's shot in the back.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think if they're 25 feet away and it was shot in the back, but, the length of the house is 40 feet.
So what if
it sounds like the kid's running?
What if that situation was his third time attempting to get inside that house?
The third time attempting?
Yeah.
And he already has a record. He broke in a couple times.
Same house.
And then he got shot in the back?
Yeah.
Well, I think when you're shot in the back, it looks like execution style, I think, if he's shot in the back. He's clearly not a threat to the homeowner.
But, he's going to come back. That's his third time. What are the odds he's going to come back the fourth time? Most likely. Because he's been trying to get into that house for some reason.
But now you're saying people that are repeat offenders should be executed. That's kind of what you're saying there. I disagree with that, but that means all drug users who are like addicts, they're not going to stop. I mean, generally, even if they get help, they're going to resort eventually back. Like, I have a whole nother issue with that. I feel you don't even want to get me on that topic.
I feel like you have a right to protect your property and your person. So if a drug addict is continuously trying to get into your home, don't you just want to stop that and please don't do anything?
I agree, you want to stop it, but there is a difference between self-defense and murder. And I understand both sides, and it's easier when you're not the person involved. But to say you're shot in the back,
so you've already you have called the cops on the 2 prior break-ins, and
it's documented. Let's say person got caught each time.
Person got caught each time, and each time he kind of threatened you. Like, let's say for some reason, everyone or this person knows you have like this huge amount of money in a safe in your bedroom,
and they keep trying
to get in there, and they always come in with a knife or whatever. And then when you're home, they like stop and go, "Oh my God, you're home. Sorry," and then they walk out.
Well, I mean,
try it again the second time.
Case.
You call the police again. So you call the police that first time, make a report. Call the police the second time, make a report.
Well,
what do you do the third time?
You hold them for the police to come. They arrest them again, and hopefully there's you have to believe in the justice system to where they'll serve time.
How do you hold them?
Well, gunpoint.
He just walks out. He just turns around and you're here again. I'm just gonna walk out.
But what do? You shoot him in the back? I mean, should I spend the rest of my life in prison because of this crackhead? I mean, you get evidence and you videotape with your phone. There's things to do, I guess, or maybe tackle him if you feel like you can.
He always has a knife.
Well, that's different too. If he always has a knife, and then chances are he's not walking away. But I get what you're saying. That's a tough situation. I know myself. I'm not going to shoot someone in the back. And it's not because I don't believe in shooting people in the back. It's more of, I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life, because then it's murder, But I understand that situation, because I think it happens throughout America all the time, where these criminals are repeat offenders. They constantly keep doing the same offense. They go through the system. They come out, and they do it again. What's that?
What if he's running backwards, trying to stab you?
Wow.
As he's running towards you backwards.
That is a good way to look at it. There you go. It's like, seriously, he was running at me. He's running back. Nobody would believe you, though. Nobody would believe. But seriously, he was running at me.
But he was just running backwards.
Nah. No, that is crazy. It would be interesting. But, I think everyone wants to protect themselves, their family, their friends, their possessions, their property. But in this day and age, it's the person that has everything to risk that you're afraid to. The criminal has nothing to risk except, going to prison.
Freedom, yeah.
But they don't seem to mind it. Well, otherwise you wouldn't have so many people in the system. Drugs, alcohol, I guess, maybe. I don't know. It's got to be mostly drugs, addictions. The drug addiction's got to be the hardest.
There's a lot of people now getting released because of prior drug
marijuana. They're just expunging and stuff bullshit. Like that, I don't know. I mean, it is hard because let's say you're in prison for 35 years for something that's now legal. I mean, you should get out if it's now legal. But at the time, they broke the law. But let's just say they served their time. I mean, come on.
Well, that's why they're releasing them.
Right. I get that. But listen to Bernie Sanders the other day. He mentioned something about you get arrested, and instead of waiting because you can't afford the bail, you should be released, like no more bail. And I'm like, what? You're arrested for a crime, and you're just going to let them back out? Because apparently if you're poor, you're black or brown, because they never really mention white. But there's plenty of poor white people, but they always have to say the black or brown, and it pisses me off because he's a rich white guy, and they're just going for the vote. That we all know that. They're just trying to get your vote. But he mentioned like the bail would go away. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're broke, you can't get the bail money, and then you're stuck in there, and you might be in there for a year because you can't afford the bail.
Right, because you're poor.
But what if it's a violent crime? I mean, there has to be stipulations. If you're in there for a violent crime, and we don't want you on the street, chances are you're guilty. I mean, you wouldn't have been arrested in the first place. I don't think they just arrest a lot of innocent people. I don't know. Again, I don't know. What the stats are, because you don't know.
Recently, that guy that stabbed that little 5-year-old girl at McDonald's, he's out on bail. $500,000 bond.
That was a few episodes ago, and I was so angry because this guy's running the streets in our neighborhood right now. He's mental. He's done it once before. He's done it again. And he's going to go back to McDonald's and steal and kill someone else or stab someone else. Think about that, George.
Yeah, it's amazing that they let him.
He posted bail. So his bond, I don't know, what is that? If it's out of 500, I think it's like $5,000. It's like 10%.
I don't know how that works.
So he got $5,000, no doubt drug money or money he stole. And then he's out on the street. There were witnesses. The mother of that daughter, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe witnessed it, which would be horrific. Maybe the grandmother or the mother or something. But there were witnesses. They caught the guy. How does this person now walk the streets? I am so upset with this.
I don't know enough about the story, so.
I don't know enough either, except what I read on Facebook. And we know if it's on Facebook, it is absolutely true. But what Facebook posted, I'm just because, right now in our community, there's a guy, if he's crazy enough to stab a 5-year-old in public at a McDonald's, what is this person capable of?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right.
That's my 2 cents.
It's odd that that's odd that he's released.
Yeah, a violent crime. But I guess when they posted the bond, they didn't think he can come up with it. I guess it should have been $5 million. So he'd have to put like 50,000 down or something like that. No, the same day, next day he's out walking the streets. Maybe next time it'll be Burger King.
So he was advertising for McDonald's. Is that what it is?
No, I'm just saying it's disgusting to me. It's uncomfortable to know that there's these nuts out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you should be really just diligent all the time.
But when you know they do that in your community,
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be. It's not right to have to be paranoid all the time.
Yeah.
You almost kind of have to be.
Yeah, in this day and age. But again, that person should have been shot. That's too bad. Someone at the McDonald's didn't have a gun. They would have shot him. If you see an adult stab a little 5-year-old.
Yeah.
5-year-old was not a threat.
But what if that person didn't know that person was playing? Maybe that was her uncle, and they're like playing. Hey.
No, I agree on that. But
then someone just assumes that, hey, there's that guy and he's stabbing someone. I'm just gonna shoot him.
Well, I think you don't just blast right away and make sure, did I just witness what I think I just witnessed? And the guy's running and screaming and doing whatever, and then you blast him.
And he's running away from you, and you blast him in the back.
But no, he just stabbed a little girl, and then you claim a little whatever. You lost it. You try to get him and shoot him in the leg, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't have all the answers on that. But let's just say we're at Wendy's. We'll give McDonald's and Burger King a break. Okay. We're at Wendy's. And we're eating, and we're in the parking lot. We're just chilling. There's an outdoor patio bench, and we're having our nuggets and a burger, a little cup of chili. Sounds good right now, chili. And we're just sitting there. We're talking about our next episode or previous episode. We're just bullshitting. We're rapping, talking about what numbers to play on roulette, whatever. And we're just talking, and there's it looks like a homeless man, but we're like, whatever. We don't care. He's not bothering us. And he just goes up to a little kid in the playpen and just starts gutting him. Okay. But we're both armed, and we're like, are we witnessing this? And then he's just screaming a little bit. Don't you feel almost like an obligation to take this man out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're witnessing him with a real knife and blood's coming out,
you'd be a hero.
Yeah.
I bet the mayor of the city gives us a medal.
Yeah. No.
Hey, with a cash reward.
That's in that situation. Yeah.
That's what happened at the McDonald's.
But if she were stabbed, why is she? I just kind of want to know what exactly happened. Why? Well, how is she still alive? For one,
it wasn't.
But two, what did he stab her with?
Yeah, I don't know.
And
the story was a knife to the abdomen.
And what was his what was his statement?
I don't think that the statement was released, but clearly he has a history of mental illness. He's had violent crimes in the past. He just snapped. Once again, society's snapping. The part of town, there's a lot of, it's not the best area of town, I don't think, but, you have homeless people up there. You have people, vagrants, maybe he's passing by. I don't know. It's got to be mental illness or drugs. What else could it be? And that's what it is. I mean, who hates a 5-year-old?
Right.
Now maybe we find out more about the story, and when it comes down to it, it's a 5-year-old.
Right.
There's no
right. No,
there's only one side of this story. This guy's a nut, and he's got to be under drugs or just crazy, which is a mental illness. But I don't have a lot of sympathy for mental illness, and maybe I should. But I think there's mental illness, and then there's criminal mental illness. Like anybody who goes on a killing spree is mental, right? Anybody that harms other people, it's a criminal mental illness, like a violent.
Right.
You could have a family member that's a little mental. I mean, I think everyone does. Everyone has somebody in their life that they're not all there, but they're not violent.
Right.
They're just saying, that's your uncle, whatever. And it's different. And those are the people we want to make better. But if you're a violent criminal or a violent mental case, I mean, there's not much you can do. They got to go to a home for the mentally, the criminal, insane. The criminally insane. Remember that movie back in the day, One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Yeah, I gotta rewatch that one again. But that was a great movie, and I believe they were mental cases. I don't remember if they were criminals or criminally insane, but it was definitely the mental institution. Very few movies. There haven't been that many movies relating to mental illness, really. I mean, if you want to consider Joker again, like a little mental illness.
Well, I remember The Green Mile.
Fantastic movie.
Well, they witnessed this guy with 2 dead little girls in his arms.
True.
What do you do then?
Wrongfully
do you shoot him? Let's say this guy, he's got these 2. Yes. He's got these 2 girls in his arms,
and he didn't kill him, right? There was another
there's
person.
Something. Yeah.
Someone else. He tried to save them, right?
I think he tried to save them.
That's why he was crying, because he couldn't save them. They were too far gone.
Yeah. But he's the only one there. There's 2 dead bodies in his arms,
and he's huge. At that time, if I was the father, maybe I would have shot because I would have lost it. But at a different time, I mean, that was like 1925.
I'm just saying, like right now, this day and age.
Well,
your 2 kids.
I don't know if there'd be a posse though. There'd be like a posse going out after the kids and the criminal. I mean, it's different. But
no, I'm just saying, like if you pulled up, you're picking up, I don't know, your kids from the park.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's a huge dude.
And there's this huge guy
holding on to 2 dead bodies.
Holding on to two dead bodies, which are your kids.
I don't think I would blast them because I want to know the story on that. I'd be freaking out, but I don't understand, like, you know, I mean, let's say that same case, but he's gnawing on one of their necks, like chewing on her, then I would. But just because someone's holding something doesn't mean they're guilty of something.
Well, what if he's trying to suck out the poison from a snake bite?
Well, she would probably still be alive, and hopefully the person's sane enough to say she was bit by a snake, you know, or something. But I think, I mean, again, we all want to be rational.
Not that works, by the way. I learned that doesn't work.
So it's is that a movie thing?
Yeah.
It only works in the movies?
It only works in the movies, yeah.
Wow.
You can't stop the venom of a snake bite by sucking on a...
Really?
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend I got bit in the cock. Suck it out. It's coming soon. No, doesn't work, really?
Yeah, supposedly it doesn't work. No. I mean, I think tourniquets...
Does it stop the blood flow as much?
Supposedly, yeah. But you really just need to get to the hospital right away so they can do the anti-venom.
Wow. Now, does every hospital have anti-venom for all different snakes, or is it like a regional thing, like the things in your region?
I want to say yes.
Yeah. You want to, but you just did.
Well, I mean, I hope they do.
No, they should, yeah, right? Well, out here, I mean, there's rattlesnakes. You get bit by a rattlesnake, and you only have like a couple hours, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you start the sweats. And
well, you're supposed to stay calm so that your blood's not pumping as fast as it can to
yeah, you gotta stay calm, right? If you're running the adrenaline and it speeds up the process because the blood's got the
parts pumping.
You're right. The poison's going through.
Right. And then another thing that I think is a myth is when you get stung by jellyfish.
That's not a myth. Oh wait, to piss on it.
To piss on it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one if it's a myth or not. But for the sting, right? You're supposed to.
Yeah, because your piss is has ammonia in it or something. So if you pour ammonia on a jellyfish thing,
I don't know how they figure that out, right? I mean,
well,
can you imagine a group of
ammonia.
guys the first time someone gets stung and we all just piss on them. It's like, no, seriously, it works, and everyone's taking a dump on them.
No, well, I think.
What were you looking up?
I'm looking up if pissing on your friend is the
remedy for a jellyfish sting.
Yeah, let's put urinating. Urinating.
Hey, Google doesn't respond well to pissing.
Urinating on jellyfish.
Sting.
Let's see what comes up here. Is urine good for a jellyfish sting? Unfortunately, in the real world, treating a jellyfish sting by urinating on it may actually cause someone more pain rather than relief. Urine can actually aggravate the jellyfish stingers into releasing more venom. The cure is indeed fiction.
So don't piss on me if I have.
Yeah, wash the
jellyfish
tentacles off with seawater, not fresh water. Fresh water may actually trigger the release of more venom. Yeah, so you don't want to urinate.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing what these.
But like, where do these things come from? It's all in the movies.
Well, I think initially the theory was to pour ammonia on the sting, and because supposedly our urine has ammonia, then if that's your only liquid that you can wash your sting out of. I don't know. What other myths have you heard?
Well, even just like when I get home remedies, even people do home remedies for everything. You don't even need medicine.
I have this theory. Okay, when I get sick, your body creates a fever. But
well, sure.
So I read that because a virus can't live in a certain environment, a certain temperature, that's your body's way of fighting the virus. It raises the body's temperature so that it can kill the virus. I don't know if that's true or not. But so what I do is I help my body fight it off by going into the sauna.
Oh, I was just gonna say the sauna's got to be one of the most helpful.
So I go into the sauna, go in there as long as I can until my face starts going numb, and then I think that's long enough. Usually about an hour or so that my body is not trying to use its own resources to create the fever.
Sure. But I like a hot shower even. You know, it helps me. It's not the same, but it does help.
I think you need the length of the heat.
Yeah.
Because I think the hot shower, your body is just trying to cool itself off, actually. When you take a hot shower, then you start, well, I guess you do the same thing in the sauna, but
a little bit.
I don't think it's enough to raise your body's temperature, just like a sauna would.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be very healthy. It's like detoxing, when you're in that sauna.
Well, in the same, in the
skin, the pores.
In the same sense, I don't go in the sauna if I'm not sick, because then I feel like my body is weakened because it's
outside forces are doing it for you, not your body.
Yeah, your body's is using the energy to try to cool itself.
Wow.
And so now it's using resources instead of trying to use its resources for your immune system, now it's trying to use up resources to try to cool your body. Yeah. And now it's working overtime. So then your immune system goes down, and I feel like because I try to do that. Well, what if I just preempt, before I get sick, I just go into saunas every month and kill the virus before it even wakes up.
Right. No,
and I got sick when I got out of the
When
sauna.
you did that?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's because I went in the sauna or is it because I went to the gym and there's a bunch of other viruses or germs in there of other people's, and that's why I got sick. So who knows?
Well, they sell these portable saunas now, in a sense. You know, I would love to get one. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a little hot tub, but it's a sauna. You know, it's the size of like a shower.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be so cool to have that space and just install a sauna. You know, it'd be very healthy and go in there, you know,
instead of going to the gym and paying
10, 20 minutes a day, you know, just kind of sweat it out. It'd be great to lose weight, I'm sure, right? Just sweating it out.
You're just losing water weight. You need, you need the water. You're just dehydrating yourself.
True. But I mean, just I hear it's
a temporary. Yeah. If you want to lose weight for a wrestling match or something,
right?
Or a weight loss,
absolutely.
Weigh in.
That would be
which
the best.
I did, by the way.
You won that your last one too, right?
Yeah, last year I was in this weight loss competition. Weight loss. What do you call it? Weight loss. Weight loss challenge. So the day of the weigh-in, I didn't drink any water. So I basically dehydrated myself and I sweated out. So that all the water weight, I went in the sauna and all the water weight that I had, so that I could weigh the least on that weigh-in.
And you won.
And I won.
So your efforts. It's all about effort.
I did
discipline and effort.
I did lose weight, but I wanted that extra.
Yeah, to push the extra mile.
Yeah, just in case I might have lost by, I don't know, 0.1 pounds.
Right.
At least I tried my best, you know. And I didn't eat anything the night before.
Yeah, I did the same one.
I took a dump. I didn't have anything in me. I was borderline malnutritioned.
Did you do the colon cleanse?
No, I didn't do the colon cleanse, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have anything in me because I
No, you're wrong, because meat stays in your body like forever.
Well, I took a dump and then I didn't eat after.
Well, but I mean, it stays in your system regardless. I took one. It took like 10 days.
But meat, actually, if you just eat, like, let's say just a regular 8-ounce steak, your body will process the majority of that protein, and what'll come out is a tiny bit of the fibers of whatever is left of that piece of meat. So actually,
but after 20 years of eating meat, they say you have a lot of meat in your system still.
I don't think that's right.
Well, do a colon cleanse.
What do you
flush that out.
It's just going to stay there? What if no one does a colon cleanse for their whole life? It's going to just be impacted.
There's a lot of shit up in there, I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure your body gets rid of it.
Yeah, well, eventually, I guess.
Well,
but if you
I'm
go
going to
6
die
months
soon
without
because I've never had a colon cleanse and I eat meat all the time.
Well, you eat fiber and stuff that helps clean you out, I guess. But I had a weight loss challenge as well. I did all right. Did like 24 pounds down, but I really just cut out the carbs and the bread, all the good stuff in life. You know, the potatoes, the bread, the sugar.
Yeah, everything that tastes.
Everything that's good.
Supposedly, our intestines or our stomach, our intestines are more closely related to the wolf rather than a primate. And wolves are
they're meat eaters.
Yeah,
primate. Well, they're not meat eaters. Eat grass and vegetables and fruit.
Bananas.
Hey, champion boxer donated entire $9 million purse from his big fight to house the homeless. That
was Fury?
Fury, yeah. Donated $9 million. If that's true, congrats. What a true champion. What a man to be admired, huh?
Just recently? Or those?
That's what it says.
Just now?
I get updates.
Just like last night?
Yeah.
His whole purse last night, he donated?
$9 million donated.
Really?
Yeah. This man, he doesn't need money.
Well, that's even more awesome.
Yeah. Can you imagine donating your entire? He just wanted that champion, wanted his crown.
he just wanted to come out with his crown and make sure that's
it. But he told everyone he was going to win. I wasn't listening.
I'm seeing if that's true. If our intestines are more closely related.
No, I did hear that. I've heard that once before too.
Yeah, it's not going to come up. Anyway, I'll research that later.
Any Walking Dead fans out there? It was a fantastic episode today. I'm waiting. You know what I'm waiting for?
Every episode you think is fantastic.
Because when the zombies come, I will be prepared.
By watching these shows?
Absolutely. But I'm waiting for the movie. You know, Rick Grimes is supposed to have a 3-picture deal. You know? And that's why they kind of got him off the show. So he starts on a movie. It's supposed to come out soon.
He's got a good following. I mean, that show itself has got a good following.
Yeah, it's Rick Grimes. You know, so I'm looking forward to that, man. I saw some good trailers, man. You know what I'm waiting for is the new James Bond. Cannot wait. Like No Time to Die. Oh yeah, there's the 25th. So it's gonna be a female Bond, right? No, this is still Daniel Craig.
Well, Daniel Craig is the main character, but he meets up with 007, which is now a female.
Well, no, when you're a 00,
he's not a 00. He
is a 00. 00 gives you permission, or you can kill.
Okay, but he's like, I don't know, he's like a retired guy, or he's in a different department now.
What?
And then he meets up with 007, and 007's a female.
I don't know.
How do you not know this?
I don't know. What I'm trying to say is...
I could be wrong, but that's what I saw in the previews.
No, he gets a partner in this one, and maybe they're going to
his partner is 007, who is now a female.
She can't be his number. She'll be like a 009. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
James Bond cannot be a woman. That's like making Superman an Asian midget. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Superman it has black hair. He's Clark Kent.
Well, no, like you said,
That's the character.
Bond is going to be a different person every time. Like maybe it's not 007, but it's 007.
It's always 007. That's Bond. James Bond is 007.
Okay, well then it's now a female.
No.
007 is now a female.
I refuse to accept that. Yeah, see, her role is Naomi in No Time to Die. She might be a 00, but she's not.
So what is she?
Let's see. No Time to Die. She's yeah,
Look at that. Bond number is up. Black female actor is the new 007.
See, a 007 though, but I don't see that happening.
Well, it just did.
No, what I'm saying is he's still Bond. He's James Bond.
Yeah, he's James
in this
Bond.
movie.
Okay, but 007 is now the 007 agent is now a black woman.
In this movie, James Bond is still Daniel Craig.
Right. Okay.
When the next movie comes out, you believe that this woman will be the new Bond, and I disagree.
Oh well.
She's in the movie.
Right,
She's
right,
a co,
Right. No. I'm just saying that 007 is now a female.
Well, all right. But James Bond is still Daniel Craig. In the movie, he says, formerly known as Agent 007, he retired sometime after Spectre. That was the last one.
Yeah, so he's still James Bond, of
He's
course.
still James Bond.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
she's
say
a
she's not
00.
gonna be
She's a 00.
She's 007.
Okay, which replaced, I guess, in the 00 faction of M16, whatever. That's the
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is James Bond is still Daniel Craig.
James Bond, yeah.
There's not going to be a black 00 in the future that's going to say, I'm Justine Bond. I mean, how stupid is that? You know? And this movie looks fantastic. And I like that, that he's got a little partner here. He's retired. They bring him back for whatever reason. She's the 00, and he helps her out. But the next Bond is still going to be
a guy.
I hope it's Tom Hardy. That guy could do no wrong. That guy's awesome, man. He plays the role. Shout out to Tom. You're the best. Who's a better Tom? Well, I mean, who's a better... I'm sorry. who's a better James Bond?
Tom Hardy or Daniel Craig?
All right. Well, Daniel Craig's my ultimate favorite right now. I mean, I grew up with Roger Moore.
I always like Roger Moore. Roger Moore will always be James Bond to me.
Right, and I agree.
And some people it's Sean Connery.
Right.
But to me, it's
yeah,
Roger
my
Moore.
dad would have said Sean Connery, but I started watching the old Sean Connerys, and they're good, and they're fun, and it's actually, there's a lot of little humor, and and it's just, but they're boring movies. They're not as good as when I grew up. Roger Moore that was it. He was Bond. I didn't like anybody after. I didn't like the Pearson guy.
Pierce Brosnan.
The Timothy Dalton guy.
I kind of liked him.
He was all right.
Timothy Dalton I did not like.
Pearson, and then the other guy. But when I saw Daniel Craig, I was so against him. Like, who is this fucking guy? And then he comes up with Casino Royale. Fantastic. That's my ultimate favorite one.
Is it because he's in a casino?
Maybe so. It was fantastic. There was something, but he was dark and gritty, and it was just something we didn't see before in the previous ones. And every one of his movies have been great. And this one looks fantastic. It's supposed to be his last one, but
he's getting old.
He looks
pass on the torch.
Yeah, but he I don't know. It looks fantastic. That's the one I'm looking forward to. But after him, who will be the next Bond? I believe Tom Hardy would be the best, but
supposedly, who's the British black guy?
Idris,
yeah.
I don't know. Come on, again, he's black. Nothing against blacks, but you're not Bond. That's like making a black. Let's do a Richard Pryor movie based on Richard Pryor, and let's make it a white guy. It's just stupid.
But there's no. Richard Pryor is black.
So is James Bond. James Bond's white. You can't make him a black guy. You're changing the whole dynamics of the character. You can't make him a woman. He's a male chauvinist kind of a womanizer. That's why he sleeps with women. Like
I agree.
You can't change it.
You can't change the gender.
You can't change it. It's stupid. And he's got to be physically fit. He's got to look good in a tuxedo.
Idris is pretty fit.
No. But Idris is awesome actor. Yeah. Awesome. Create another character like Bond. Just don't call him James Bond. It's wrong. You can't change a character just to fit today's society. To make everyone happy. Let's make James Bond a transgender. Why not? How fucking stupid is that? Come on. Are you on the same page with me on that one?
Well, yeah, then it can't be a transgender.
Why not?
Well,
let's make everyone happy.
But I think it could be whatever male it is.
I disagree.
As long as they're British.
Yeah, I disagree with Tom Hardy. He's a Brit. Or you know what? He's too old now, but the guy from 300. He would have been a good Bond.
Yeah.
Dark and gritty kind of. He's got that feel. What's his name?
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. But he's too old now. He's looking pretty old in those Olympus movies. You know what I'm talking about? The ones falling and he's saving the president all the time. I think he would have been a great Bond. Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
But Tom Hardy still got youth to him. and he's name a role Tom Hardy has played that's not phenomenal.
No, he's good. He's good in all of them. I like him.
Yeah, he's good. But could you name another actor that would be as good as Tom Hardy in that role in James Bond?
No, that seems like a fitting.
I think
fitting role for him.
amazing. You know, maybe like who I used to like too.
What do you think about the new Batman with what's his name?
Patterson guy.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I couldn't stand him as a vampire. I think he's not good for Batman, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because
Give him a chance.
Yeah,
see how he does in the suit and how he holds himself.
And the reason I say that is Christian Bale. I was like, what? And he was phenomenal. So I thought
he was probably the best Batman, I think.
Well, I grew up with Michael Keaton was Batman. He was Batman.
I couldn't.
But I think Christian Bale's better.
He was Batman, but I felt like that wasn't the right character for.
I mean, George Clooney was better.
Yes.
George Clooney was better than Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Wow. And what about Val Kilmer?
I think he was a strong Batman.
But you didn't like Michael Keaton at all?
I did not like Michael Keaton as Batman.
All right, I did like Michael Keaton.
I just don't see him as an action hero.
Yeah.
I don't see Michael Keaton as an action hero.
Fair enough.
I see Val Kilmer as an action hero. I see...
they were terrible.
Yeah, they were terrible, but...
The movies were terrible, but
it just didn't fit the character. It's like if Robert De Niro became Batman.
Wow, I couldn't even see that.
Right, that's the same. Yeah. That's how I feel about Michael Keaton. He's like a regular, like a drama / comedy actor.
Well, I mean, I'm looking back when
I can't see him as an action hero.
When the first Batman came out, Jack Nicholson made that movie, but Michael Keaton did an amazing job. And the age that I was at, and there was nothing like it really beforehand. That paved the way for comic book or superhero movies. Really, you had Christopher Reeves as Superman, but that's Superman.
Was he the first Batman?
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Okay.
I mean, you have the old TV series.
Yeah, with Adam West.
Right.
But
I loved that TV show, but I mean, look how cheesy it was.
It was so cheesy, but it was so good.
Bam! You see the words punch, pow.
Right, and they're walking.
Kicked him in the doodle on the rope. Yeah.
On the side of the building.
Well, that was special effects back then. Think about that, the special effects. So when Batman came out with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson aced it for that time period.
He's one of the best Jokers ever.
Forever, but without a doubt. And then you launch, what I liked about the first Batman is truly you had a hero, you had a villain, and you had a little love interest. And it was simple, it was easy, and I loved it. And if you follow along, each movie they had to add another hero, like Batman and then Robin, and then you had multiple villains, and then each character really didn't have a lot of a good story, and it just got stupid, and it just got progressively worse, And then when Christian Bale came out, right. I mean, it changed. We got back dark again.
Right.
It was more modern, and the one with the Heath Ledger was excellent. No one could disagree. He was phenomenal.
He nailed
it without a doubt. And with Christian Bale, he nailed it as Batman. I mean, he played it perfectly, and some of the other ones, the Dark Knight one was great, and some of the others,
I just remembered Ben Affleck.
Oh, there you go.
That was bad.
Terrible.
That was the worst.
Well, the Batman vs Superman one was just ridiculous, and then the other one was stupid too. The Justice League, just dumb. But how many villains you gonna have? How many superheroes? And then how many comic book nerds need all these heroes? Who's the guy? Who's the black guy with the machine and the red eye? And who are all these people?
I do have a problem with superhero movies. How they fight. They
should just sit down and play a game of poker.
But they fist fight and they do all this destruction and they hit one another. And they just knock each other, 1,000 feet into the air, but then they come back and they fight again. It's like,
well, that's what makes it stupid. There's no point.
There's no point in fist fighting each other when all they're all indestructible.
Right, but you're a 46-year-old man, but to a 12-year-old little boy, it's awesome.
Well, yeah,
that's why you're growing out of that.
Right.
And I mean, I agree, and that's why I like the dark, gritty, like Joker, rated R. It was great for adults. You still have, but there's so many bigger, themes in that movie. From the mental illness and the bullying and just the everything. I loved it, man. It was phenomenal. I thought it was great acting. I like that director too. He did the Hangover. Todd Phillips, fantastic. But the thing is, when it comes to those superhero movies, you're right. It bores the shit out of me when they fight for 45 minutes. Nobody dies generally. It's just they just destroy the city and they punch them in outer space. They capture them. They roll over. I mean, it's so stupid. It just gets boring, But when you think of the movie like Thor, the first Thor, you have basically the superhero Thor, which was a great movie, and then like one villain kind of attitude, and that's what makes it fun. And a love interest.
I did like the Supermans where Christopher Reeves were in it
back in the day.
The kryptonite. He had kryptonite, and that was his weakness, and
fantastic.
He was able to be defeated. Kind of.
Yeah, but he had a weakness.
He had a weakness.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't. Well, they did have the fight where he was fighting with those three.
Well, that was in part 2, and it was General Zod.
Right, General Zod and
Zod. Yeah.
For some reason, that wasn't too over the top. They were fighting each other
back then.
for back then.
It's great.
But now it's like it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
But it was great. That was the best movie. But once Superman can fly around the world and change back time and it just gets stupid.
That was kind of weird.
Even when you're a kid, it was stupid. I remember being that age and going, "What the fuck is this?" So anything that happens, just fly around the world and change it. So, right? And can he do it every time?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. By now, Christopher Reeves, hey, he can fly. He just can't ride a horse. But you know what? I miss that guy. That guy was good. Did you ever see him in a movie called Death Trap? You remember that one?
Is it the one he's in a wheelchair? Did you see the one he's in a wheelchair?
Well,
the one where he pretended
the remaining of his life. No, that's not that. That was you're talking about Steve Martin.
No.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves was in a movie where he got into he murdered his.
Yeah, it might be Death
He
Trap.
murdered his wife or something, but he's in a wheelchair.
All right.
And he is basically, supposedly, I'm not going to ruin the movie for everyone because it's actually a good
only been
movie.
out 50 years ago.
Well, but it's still a good movie. It's
Yeah.
still a really good movie. If any of you want to see it, look up Christopher Reeves in a wheelchair. I don't remember what the title was.
Wow.
But it was a really good movie.
Look it up that way.
Oh, no. Well,
That's the remainder of his life.
no. But movie,
Yeah,
Christopher Reeves in a movie in a wheelchair.
It might have been
ironically, he ended up in a wheelchair, but that movie that he was in a wheelchair as a character was a pretty good movie because he
That's what comes to mind
the story. This is just a good story.
Yeah, might have been that one. But I was thinking the one once you went to a wheelchair, there was one with Steve Martin and what's that one called?
Yeah.
Whips him with the cane and
It's like
he's crying.
that was a great.
Yeah, that is good. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. They don't make movies like that anymore.
They don't. Well, they tried. That was like a remake with the women, and it was so terribly done.
Yeah,
because you could tell it was the exact same story. It was just a remake.
There wasn't very memorable.
Yeah,
there weren't memorable stuff like Steve Martin in the wheelchair.
Right. But I mean, the whole movie of the Steve Martin one, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, was fantastic. And then the portly woman, she's a little portly. What's her name?
Rebel Wilson.
It was her.
Rebel. I think it's Rebel Wilson.
Yeah,
Rebel something.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
it was so bad. But that was the whole story, the con artist.
Right.
It was freaking terrible. I hate when they do that, and at least, you know what, give it the same title. So you're letting people know it's just a remake. Because when you go, and then it's just terrible, and you know it's a remake of anyone, that's been around. Yeah, it's a rough one, though. But Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, what a movie.
Well, that is our time.
No way. Are we already done?
Yes, sir.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
Tune in next time. We'll continue this movie magic or not conversation. Well, hope you guys tune in next time. We are Unfiltered with DNG.
It's great. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Once again, be kind to all. Love everybody. Cheers, man. Let's have another drink. Let's finish this bottle.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.